Oh, you're supposed to shake gently before you drink it?
I did, because
every time you drink it?
it said contains milk, and I had milk with cereal, so I have to shake gently.
So, is it milk that if you shake it hard, if you whip it hard, it turns into like whipped cream?
Yeah, and then you just like squeeze it out of the can.
I found out an interesting fact this week. Those frappes, those cold frappes that, not McDonald's, but Starbucks sells in a bottle.
Oh, yeah.
The correct way to do those is you're actually supposed to freeze them because they become like a frozen coffee, like a frozen frappe. People just drink them straight, and they're actually supposed to be frozen.
Then how would you drink it? If it's
because
frozen?
it becomes like the frappes where they sell there. They become like a frappuccino. You know how it's that consistency of a frappuccino?
I don't understand.
The frozen whatever. They're made to do that. They're constructed, and people don't do it. They're just drinking the juice.
No one says that. Like freeze it first. They don't sell it.
I heard it this week, and I thought it was very interesting. But
I'm gonna go home and freeze it. Like Josiah told me, I'm gonna stuff it with a coffee lock.
Look it up.
I'm
Good morning, people.
Morning.
This is the show. What do we call this show again?
Super Broeders.
Super Broeders. That's I don't know if you can see that, but that's what that says there. We need to get this laminated. If anybody would like to donate their expertise to laminate this, please do that.
Yes, they're gonna come in here with like plastic wrap and Elmer's glue. And I'll do
that.
that for you.
Laminated now. Be like, that's terrible.
Get the iron.
So, welcome back to the show. This is episode 8. Yep. Some news. Once again, the bus will start running on July the 5th. Church is going on right now, but to comply with the governor's restrictions and to be respectful to him, we are holding off running the bus until we have the green light. But church is still going on, and even starting today, we'll start our Sunday night services. Thursday, we'll start our Thursday night services. If you can't make it, then tune into them online at the church's Facebook page, or for those of us young people, the YouTube page, because nobody our age is on Facebook. Unless you have no life, then you're on Facebook. So anyways, let's move on. Also, some news with the show itself. With things getting back to normal, we will be changing the format of the show, trying out some new things today even, some different concepts or some different segments. But also, we're going to move to twice a month. Instead of every Saturday or every Sunday, we'll do it twice a month. Might be a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. But it won't be live anymore. It'll be twice a month, and we'll let you know when we're going to put those out. Probably during the middle of the week at some time.
If you're following us on Facebook or Instagram, then you'll automatically kind of figure things out there.
You'll be like, hey, where are they at? And then
the
a video will pop up on
do
Wednesday, and we'll be like, oh, there they are.
And then the more of you that comment, like, oh, yeah, I liked that part. That was funny. I hated that part. It gave me PTSD.
I hate that guy.
Things like that. Yes.
Get rid of that.
That helps us. Otherwise, we just we really had fun with the worst part, So tell us what you think is funny. Tell us what you liked. Okay?
And share it with your friends.
Commenting takes you.
We're just after the views. We don't care about views. We just want
10
the views. So, I probably shouldn't say that. All right, let's move into our first segment. We are doing headlines again this week.
Headlines.
There's just some great headlines this week that I wanted to share with you that will just change your life when you read these.
Right.
And the first one, and I thought this is pretty great.
Are these all from Britain again? Or?
I don't think so, because that one says one of our states. That one doesn't. The third one doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
The second one. I think the second one's a state. Anyways, headline number 1. Number one. Man dresses as Grim Reaper to warn Florida beachgoers about coronavirus. So there is a guy down in Florida that is roaming the beaches. Well, we think it's a guy. It might actually be the Grim Reaper. But we speculate there's a man dressed as the Grim Reaper going around the beaches saying, you're going to die from coronavirus.
Does he say that, or does he just walk around and hover next to you?
He probably just moan, you're going to die from coronavirus.
I don't know.
Get out of me.
The Grim Reaper's dressed all in black. You just got to be sweating and dying under that.
So maybe it's not the Grim Reaper.
Which is ironic because so far, there's no vaccine or anything like that. The only thing they figured out to kill the coronavirus is sunlight. And all these people are well, I'm going to go lay in the sun and let it touch my entire body, basically.
Yes.
And,
good
you'd think that would be the best cure, but I guess not. I don't know. Don't listen to the scientists. They don't know what they're talking about.
Nobody does. Nobody knows what they're talking about.
Listen to politicians.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. All right, our second headline. This is also in America.
Headline 2.
California woman eats engagement ring in sleep while dreaming about it. So while she's dreaming about her engagement ring, while she's sleeping, she eats her engagement ring. Like, how does that happen? You're just like in your sleep and like, oh, I'm just thinking of my engagement ring.
Honestly, that sounds like her sister Nia.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody nailed it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the
Yeah,
ring off.
she's like kissing her hand in her sleep. And,
Yeah, it's weird like that.
And
she's weird like that.
yeah.
But like how do you wake up?
Swallowed it whole.
I can't imagine. Like she wakes up in the morning and she's like, "Where's my ring? Where's my ring?" And then she realizes she dreamt about eating it, and she actually ate her engagement ring in her sleep.
I don't remember much of like anything I dreamed.
No, I don't.
So at what point did she realize it was in her stomach?
Right, maybe 10 hours later.
Yeah.
She realized
Yeah,
when it was all plonk instead of a plop.
Eat? Oh,
Instead of
was tink.
yeah, yeah, maybe that's what it was. The question that
There's some sharp edges on those
the
diamonds.
question arises though: what is the best gemstone to ingest? I'd probably go with the pearl.
More like
Oh,
round.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Opal.
pearls.
Opal or pearl.
Yeah.
Would go down smooth. That would be my guess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Glass of water.
and reappear smooth as well. That'd be my
Sugar.
guess. Not like a
Yes.
diamond.
Or smooth.
Diamond does not
Stomach
sound
acid
good.
really shines it up.
Emerald's kind of weird too. I don't know. So that is our second headline. And our third headline,
Emeralds have edges.
yes. So you don't, maybe not. Peruvian. So this is not America. This is in Peru.
Peruvian. That's in Peru,
Peruvian.
which is a country in South America. I know some of you have gone to high school, so you have no idea where that is. But
Yes, it's south of America though.
yeah, South
Peruvian-
America is not actually owned by America. Let's not
Yeah.
get into that. Move on. Move on.
Peruvian mayor poses as corpse
Dead person.
to avoid arrest for flouting or avoiding coronavirus lockdown. So the mayor of a town in Peru posed as a dead coronavirus victim by lying in a coffin while wearing a face mask to avoid being arrested for violating lockdown rules that he should have been helping to enforce.
There is
What is
so
wrong
much
with
to
this
unpack there.
So he's supposed to be enforcing the lockdown, and instead he avoids it.
Okay,
And he
was he
goes
just
out-
staying in town? He's like, oh,
He
I
might
don't
go
want to
like-
work today. Let's have an open casket funeral.
Like, if everybody's stuck at home and there's like one guy walking the streets,
Or was
you're gonna
he
get
trying to get out of town and he's like, okay, guys, I need you to carry my open
They could have.
casket through the street so I can get to the train station.
But he's decides to lie in a. Where in the world did he get a coffin? He's just lying.
He's the
What is
mayor.
with this? He's the mayor too. He
Yeah.
probably has connections for
Yeah,
it.
they have them on call.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right, we need to move into our next segment, which is
Segment 2.
our what is it called?
Verse of the week.
Verse of the week. All right, Brother Al has a verse for me this week.
Yes.
That will help me through these trying times.
Philippians 1:8. For God is my record, how greatly I long after you all in the bowels of Jesus Christ.
Why don't you go ahead and explain this one?
Well, whichever A, let's go with A this week. All Bible is
A
good.
bullet point
This is,
dot.
or just A.
Black bullet point
Anyway, A, all Bible
is
good.
good.
So,
Yes.
B, all right, so he longs after you, all right, this guy who's writing this, in the bowels of Jesus Christ. And let's just think about this. The heart of Christ is amazing, all right? But the hearts are like what? Like the size of your fist? Bowels, that's a good 20, 30 feet of real
I've heard
estate
it's
there.
miles.
So,
Their large intestine, I've heard it's like 13 miles.
13 miles. Where does that compact?
That's
I have
what
like
I've
a
heard.
like a black hole inside me.
Yes.
Anyway,
Tart.
so you could have like, like 4 inches worth of the love of Christ, or you could have 13 miles of the
Yeah.
love. What would you
Man,
take?
that's such a beautiful thought.
Take the
That's
bowels,
just
people.
beautiful. Take the bowels. Yes,
Yes.
take the bowels. Make sure there's no gems in those bowels, though, please. All right, we need to
Ideally.
move. Thank you for that verse of the week for that. I appreciate
inspiring.
that. That'll help me out. I need that bowel love. What
Yeah.
I need.
Bowels of
You
mercy.
eat a lot of spicy food, you get some bowel love too.
You do.
Cleans them out.
Yes.
Wherewithal shall a young
Anything
man
from White
cleanse his
Castle.
bowels by taking heed according to thy Bible says. So, all right, we need to move into our next segment. We've got our returning guest, Brother Alan. He is going to come in and do our Al Explains. Let's give him a hand. And then also...
Thank you. You're too kind.
Ooh. Oh, it does not. All right, Brother Allen, here's how this goes. We will draw a topic out of the bowl of topics, the hat of topics. I need to get my clock ready. and you will have 1 minute to tell us everything you know about this topic.
Yeah, this is the educational part of the show.
Yes.
So we can keep our government funding.
So, Brother Allen has been
I only say
practicing.
truthful facts.
So let's see what his topic is. We'll give him a couple seconds to think about it, and then we'll get going.
What do we have here this week? Tables.
You get to tell us all
tables.
about tables.
There's a lot of things.
And then here we go. On your mark, get set. 1 minute, go.
So the first thing I would like to say about tables is we actually have a table today on the show right here.
This one, we need to lift it up so the people can see it.
I think they can see it just fine. Well, anyway, so tables can be made of all sorts of things, including plastic and wood. Tables are used to hold stuff. In most cases, meals that people are eating. In other cases, props for a show.
Oh, yeah, there we
Phones,
go.
donuts,
That's key.
microphones.
That's key.
Tables are most commonly sold in the country of Argentina. I actually know this Argentinian table salesman. He
What's his
make
name?
his name is Bob.
Oh.
Him and his family, they make tables together and they sell them on the streets to make their living. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's all you know about tables?
That's all I know.
How do tables stand?
Well, they stand on legs. I guess I do know that, but the legs do not have feet. It's kind of morbid.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, thank you for your description on tables. That was
Thank you, sir.
somewhat informative. I did not know that they come from Argentina.
Yes.
I
all
know.
tables.
So do all tables come from Bob, the Argentinian table
Yes.
salesman?
If you may find a table that says made in China. That's because
They stole it from.
his wife's name is China, and
Oh,
so they
okay.
named their table shop China.
Oh, okay.
They actually make a lot of
Name it
things,
for their
too.
company.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
all right. All right, thank you, Brother Allen. I appreciate that. Let's give him a hand on explaining all about tables.
Sure.
Have a good day. We'll see you at church later. Good job. All right, we need to move into our next segment. This is a new segment we're going to try out here today. Yeah, you gotta move over. So we got another guest coming on. This is future missionary to New Zealand, or Zealand, however you say that. Seabird, yes. New Zealand. Brother Josh Klug is going to come on. He's going, we need to give him a hand as well.
Yeah.
And there's much rejoicing. And he's brought some would you rather questions for us. You can't have a podcast without doing, or have any type of show, without having would you rather questions. That's just the rule. Before you can even sign up for a show, they say you must have would you rather questions. So he's brought some on for us, and he's going to help us decide what we would rather do.
What would you rather do? So my first would you rather comes from Andy B. And he says, would you rather laugh so hard that milk comes out of your nose and then have to drink it?
Ouch.
Or would you rather be fed regurgitated food by your mom like a mother bird feeds their baby bird?
Oh, jeez.
What would you rather do?
Okay, neither one of these actually sounds.
It's kind of the point
Well,
of a would you rather.
I
know-
think there's a clear
I
winner.
know which
here.
one I would rather do.
I think there's a clear. Have you ever spit milk out of your nose?
Yes.
Have you ever drank it afterwards?
That would actually be the one I would choose.
I
I think I would
choose
choose
it.
take that one because I don't think
It
I
might
can
be a
handle.
little lumpy.
I cannot
It's-
handle.
It's better than eating vomit.
I can't handle regurgitated food from my mother. I love my mother, but that's just weird.
Yeah,
Um,
it's too much.
I know. I talk about regurgitating stuff. I remember at camp one year, there's some guys in our youth group that would take corn kernels and they'd suck them to the back of their throat and up into their nostrils and shoot them out their nose.
There's some
And it was
weird
so
guys.
gross. I'm like, what? But to do it with milk,
That's the way to get the girls.
like I know how much water hurts when you get water in your nostrils. But milk's gotta be bad too.
It coats your sinuses, though.
Yeah, and then all day everything smells like milk.
Yeah. But then you have to drink it too. So it's just like a vicious cycle. You drink it and then and spit it out your nose and then drink it again.
At least you're laughing.
Is that like a natural filtration process?
I'm sure it could be. At least you're laughing. Would you rather laugh so hard that milk comes out of your
Oh
mouth?
yeah, that's good too.
So
So-
it sounds fun.
So you're going with the milk?
I'd go with
I
the
think
milk.
I go
You're going with the
with
milk.
the milk.
I'm going with the milk. That's 3 for the milk. Okay, let's move on.
All
to the
right.
next one.
Next one would be given to us by Mike S. Would you rather only be able to greet people by yodeling or by giving a devastating noogie instead of shaking hands?
So every time you walk up to somebody,
You would
either
have to-
you're yodeling.
Whoa, wait. It does say
This is a devastating noogie.
Yeah, that's
instead of shaking hands. Well, what if I choose like there's a social distancing sign? I don't shake hands.
then you have to do the devastating noogie.
No, because I wasn't going to shake hands in the first place.
Then-
So
No, that's the
therefore, I
thing.
do not
is
have to do the
shaking hands no longer exists. You're the only thing we know is devastating noogies now.
Yeah, but I'm social distancing. I can't.
Well, that's right now. But what about when we get
There's
back
probably
to
more germs
reality?
on their head than there is on their hands.
I
I don't
think
know.
personally,
What
I would
you
rather yodel.
You would rather yodel?
I
Can you
think-
yodel?
No.
Okay.
Yodel.
During
That's
the
about it.
quarantine,
It's
That's
not
how
good.
13
I
year
would
olds yodel.
consider the noogie, and then the rest of the year yodeling.
Yodeling. Yeah, I think I'd rather take the yodeling as well.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty
there's like a
yodeling.
noogie season, and the rest of the year is yodeling season.
Yeah. I mean, the noogie though, that was just like.
You have to run up and put everyone in
I
a
feel like
headlock.
I feel like after you do that, you have to wash your hands because you got their hair grease. Because you get somebody really gross who doesn't wash
Oh
their
yeah,
hands,
yeah.
and you get the greasy hands going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have all their like dandruff.
You might start
And
a fire.
yodeling would be so much easier. I mean, I could yodel across the room to greet someone.
There you go.
So I'm taking yodeling. That's 3 for
Yodeling.
yodeling. All right, let's try out one more.
And the last one, sent in by Kevin M. Would you rather, when passing by people on the street, be compelled to guard them as if you're playing basketball, or
Box
would
out.
you rather feel the urge to stuff acorns in your cheeks like a squirrel?
Okay.
Well, I want to
Let's-
point out they're both just compulsions.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The
with,
one's
with
compelled.
time and training, I can stop myself from doing either of these with self-control.
It
They're
doesn't
just
say yeah. It
compulsions.
does loophole. We don't have to actually.
They're
do it,
urges.
but it's just an urge.
You know, meeting certain people, I have urges
Okay.
for certain reactions, but I control myself.
But I don't think that you ever get over that because look, it says. I mean, it's
Well, some people you don't ever.
when
every time
passing
you meet
by.
them, you know,
I think this is forever. You're always going to feel the need to guard somebody like
Yes,
you're
it's
playing
a
basketball.
genetic disposition. Which
Yeah.
one
you,
would
you'd
you
have to
rather
like go to
What is
therapy
it, the
for
right
it.
hand up and the left hand, and you
I would-
do like the crap.
I
thing,
would
you know.
personally prefer to basketball guard them.
The urge to get basketball guard them instead of the urge to
Yes.
shove your face full of
Yes.
food. I don't know. I like chip.
I kind of like the
Or is it
squirrel
chipmunks?
thing
Oh,
because
squirrels.
most of the time when I'm like
But it's
passing
acorns.
people on the street or whatever, like how or really most of my day, I'm not like next to trees. So like right now, I'm not feeling the acorn urge in this room.
Yeah, but if
so.
I pass by somebody.
If it was
it's like-
cashews, maybe.
Cashews.
I love cashews.
Cashews are all the nuts are gross.
No, they're
Peanut
good.
butter.
Cashews are great.
And it actually, like males live longer if they eat like a couple handfuls of
I don't
cashews
believe
every
that.
day.
I bet
What
the science
about
tells you that.
pistachios?
I don't listen to scientists. I only listen to politicians.
Lightly salted peanuts.
Pistachios
I can
are too
do
much work.
I can do heavily salted
Well,
peanuts.
let's
yes.
say pre-shelled pistachios.
I can do
Oh,
chocolate
it's
covered
better.
peanuts. Yes, I can do that.
Chocolate covered
Yeah,
peanuts.
I can do that.
No, lightly
Chocolate
salted anyway.
Potato chip. All right. So which one you guys taking? What are you taking?
Basketball guard.
No, I'm gonna go for the squirrel thing.
But they're acorns, man. You can't eat acorns.
But it's just a compulsion.
It's
the
just
urge.
compulsion.
It's not like
And by the
Okay.
time I have run 20 feet to like the tree, by that point, I'll have like recovered. Like
you're
no,
running.
no, we don't do
So
that
I was
anymore.
over there. Ready for that.
We'll make sure to get you an appointment with Squirrels Anonymous.
Acorns Anonymous. I think is what they call it.
Okay.
Be a basketball anonymous.
All right. I think I'm gonna take. Oh man. I think just because I like squirrels, I gotta take the squirrel one. I gotta do the squirrel.
Yeah, I mean the basketball thing is worse because every time you meet someone, you're like leaping towards them, like it's like a fresh lawsuit every Wednesday. You know,
That's true.
Hey, how you doing?
every time you go to Myers or whatever,
It's true. Oh man,
They don't
going
let
to
you in
the
stores
store,
anymore.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
they have your
Every
picture up at the
Every time you
doors,
pass the
and the
aisle,
greeters are like,
Here's my
you know
question.
better.
What would they do?
what they do.
What would you guys
let
do?
us know.
Yeah, you should comment.
Let us know in the
Comment.
comments.
Which would you rather do? Because obviously we're really divided on this one.
Yep, we gotta
as far
know.
as what we do.
We gotta
so
know.
let us know what you do. And
Basketball guard, squirrel cheeks.
Yeah. Which one are you going with? All right. Thank you,
All right.
Josh.
Thank you,
gotta take
guys.
care of some stuff every time. Let's give him a hand. This is a long
I'm gonna buy a
hand.
prop hand and just like throw it.
Look
Give
at
him a
those
hand.
clapper hands. Look at those clapper hands.
Yes. Yes,
That's also great.
the most obnoxious.
Oh, do we have time for segment number 5, or do we want to move on? Yeah.
What time is it? Oh, if we make it quick.
All right, we can do it quick. We're gonna do book review again this week. It's been a couple weeks since we've done our book review.
You
this
went
is-
first last time, right?
I think I guessed first last time. Look at my answer. So here's how this works. We brought a book from the church's library. You can see mine has a picture on it. And
I think I know what that is, and I think I've thought about picking it.
I saw this one last time. But what's going to happen is
Range.
we're going to share a book with the other guy, and he has to
I
tell
think
us
you
what the
presented
is
your
about.
book first last time.
I thought I guessed first. I guessed first. All right, fine. We'll do whatever you want. What do you want? You want me to give you?
I don't know. What are the technical producers back there saying? Who presented first last time? It was me.
He presented his book to me, so I need to present my book to him. Okay, great. All right, the name of this book is called Five Dolls and the Monkey. Tell us what it's all about. Five Dolls and the Monkey. By the way, this book is not condoned by Faith Christian School. I don't agree with the philosophy of this book.
It seriously says that.
Yes.
Why did you give me this one? Oh man.
I can tell you what it's all about. I read the book.
$5. Yeah, I'm sure you did. $5 and the monkey. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, obviously, in my professional opinion, this is an after-school special kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And yes, in the story there is $5 and a monkey, and the $5 would represent your average school child, and the monkey is kind of a bad friend, maybe a college dropout or something like that, and just gets them into mischief. And then at the end of the story, they end up at the police station, and there's a strong lesson there from the mother doll. I think they make those about having the right friends. Don't be friends with college dropout monkeys.
Don't be friends with monkeys.
Don't be friends with cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Yes. What about gorillas?
Gorilla monkeys?
Gorilla monkeys.
Like stealth guerrilla warfare monkeys
Yes,
for actual gorillas.
The warfare monkeys. Like from Planet of the Apes.
I mean, that would be cool, but cool is not always the right thing to do, you know?
Right.
So avoid the guerrilla warfare monkeys and their communist manifesto, okay?
Alright, that's good.
Which is also basically most college
you
dropouts.
are spot on. That is exactly
I
what
figured.
Five Dolls.
You can
and
tell
a
from
monkey.
the picture on the front.
The monkey is hanging off a chimney.
That's a
So
chimney?
that's because he's getting ready to go down the chimney and be a gorilla.
He's got a weird nose.
Warfare monkey. So, alright, what book do you have for me that you read?
I like to think of this one as a section from our British publishing group, the Merry Mad Bachelors.
Oh, there's pictures on the front.
There
Alright,
is,
so
yes.
obviously there's these married mad bachelors that have a basketball team.
Not married, married.
Mary, yes, Mary, like
Happy.
like Maid Marian.
Nope,
Okay.
nope.
She's Mary, as in Mary, the mother of Jesus, has these mad bachelors, and she's got this basketball team. This is Mary, starts this basketball team back in the day.
Like from the Apocrypha?
Oh, yeah, it's from Bella and the Dragon.
Oh.
So she starts this basketball team back in Bible times. I know it's before basketball even existed, but she was the mother of Jesus, so Jesus gave her some insight, probably. He told her about basketball. And she starts this basketball team. And just like we had the Bad Boys back in the 80s, this was the Mad Boys back in the 80s.
The AD 80s.
The AD 80s, the BC 80s. And they started this basketball team, and they're just so good. And they're Mary's Mad Basketball team. What does that play? The Mad
Bachelors.
Oh, they're all bachelors, too. That plays into it somehow.
Yeah,
And
that way
They're
can
all
be part
single.
of the
It must have been the
144,000.
apostles. It's got to have been the apostles. They weren't
I
married.
think some of them were married.
Well,
but
the ones
okay.
that weren't married were on the basketball team.
And then
And
they recruited
started,
more.
yes, they recruited more. I can't say that word. And they start this mad basketball. Everybody's like, man, they're the mad boys, they're the mad apostles, because they had this awesome basketball team.
Yes, sir.
And that is what the Merry Mad Bachelors,
As they say in Britain, the Mad Lads.
the Mad
Yes.
Lads, yes. That is the Merry Mad Bachelors. Was I close?
90%.
Is that book endorsed by Faith Baptist?
Oh,
It's
that's
in
a
the
good
front
question.
cover. It's in the front cover.
It's no longer the property of Greenville Public Library. I
Oh,
write that in all my books too. No longer the property of Allen County Public Library.
Mine now. No, I don't think it is.
No,
It
we
says it
do
right
have
here.
like an
Description.
article or something.
Yeah, I have the same thing in this. Not like the
With a
same.
picture of a clown suit.
That's Judas.
Judas?
Judas a clown. All right, we need to move into our next segment. That was good. I hope you guys learned all about books today. Just a reminder, our weekly trivia giveaway. We had a few people enter again. You can enter to win free money, free Starbucks gift cards. So
No.
we had 3 entries this week. Please answer the trivia question at the end of the show,
Double no.
and then you could win a $5 Starbucks gift card every week. You need to have the answer in by Tuesday night. It's really not that easy. Maybe we need to open this up into any time before the show. You can enter.
It's just all
Yeah,
part
we'll
of,
talk
you know, the
Just enter. Come on. people.
like,
It's free.
subscribe,
This is for
comment,
anybody.
follow.
This is for anybody. It's for our first lady
Free
of the
money,
church.
y'all.
First lady of the church, Miss Wendy Lovins. That's what we call her now. That's
Flotus.
Flotuck.
Flotuck.
It's for the song director and his wife. It's for the nursery work. It's for anybody that watches the show. You can enter. It's for the president because he watches the show. He tweeted about it earlier.
Yeah.
Don't look that up. Don't fact check that because Twitter already did. So please enter. We'll go ahead and do our giveaway this week. Do I get to draw out or you get to draw? Or you already drew one out?
You wanna
drew one
draw out?
I don't. You already
I
drew one
went
out.
through the whole process.
You already drew one out, and I don't want that person to feel slighted that they didn't get picked. Oh, it's Miss. It must be initials, B-R-E. So,
B-R-E.
Miss Bray. So thank you for Mr. Bray.
Yeah.
What's the name of the horse from The Horse and His Boy? Chronicles of Narnia?
Oh, jeez. I don't even know if I made it to that
So-
one.
Sahasta and Bree. I think that's the name of the horse. And then it's also the name of the prancing pony, or the Brienne.
Yeah.
The prancing pony.
Yeah, from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, from LTR. So, not sponsored. So, all right, we need to move into our final segment, which is our Bible lesson, and we're going to mix it up this week because the literature side can be very boring. So we're going to mix this up, and Brother Al is going to draw our Bible story as we go through it. So not only do you have to pay attention to what I'm saying, but you also get visuals to help you understand what's going on. So I'm going to get started. He's going to draw whatever he wants to as we go. But our Bible lesson comes from 1 Samuel chapter 17. Now, we could sit here and read all...
20.
No, there's more than that. 29 verses. But that's the wrong... I'm in 2 Samuel.
That's the wrong Bible.
You could, there is 20 verses. How'd you know? Oh, it's
This is
Deuteronomy.
the manga
That's
Bible.
Deuteronomy. I was looking at the wrong one. I gotta find my scripture for 2 Samuel 17.
Yeah, right before
and,
First Second Kings.
And wow, this is great.
It's giving
Okay.
me nothing so far. I'm drawing the reference.
Yes. 58 verses. We could read all 58 verses, or you can just let me explain it. We can read some verses as we go. But here we go. So in the first few verses, well, let's talk about it. This is the story of David and Goliath. Now, David was a young man, and when you look up his age, it differs anywhere from 16 to 23. So he's somewhere in that age range. And he was the youngest of 8 sons. Jesse was their dad. He has 7 other brothers. The Bible talks about David being a shepherd. And he was also the man that was anointed to be king. At that time, Saul was the king. And David had been anointed to be king after Saul. So that's who David is. And this story is about David. David had a history of being a really good fighter. I mean, he was a pretty cool guy. How's that picture going?
Oh, it's going great.
Good. Oh, yes, that's because he's a young guy.
He's a ruddy
You
youth.
see, yes, he's Rudy. So there's David for you.
He's wearing his sheep pants.
David he was also a shepherd, like we talked about. So it means he had his own flock of sheep. Well, David one day sees this bear coming after the sheep. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and kill the bear. So he goes out there and kills the bear. He's like 16, 23 years old, something like that. And he goes out there, okay, I don't know about you, Brother Al, but if a bear came after me, I think I'd scream and run. Or are you supposed to play dead? Which one is it? Play dead? Or...
I think it depends on the color of the bear,
All right,
actually.
yes. If it's pink, then speed it up because
If it's pink, check into AA.
Yes, if it's pink, yeah. So he kills the bear. Same thing happens with a lion. A lion comes after a sheep, he kills the lion. So he's killed a bear, he's killed a lion. He's a pretty bad dude. And he's a young kid. Well, in verses 1 through 4 of this chapter, we see, now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle. Philistines were the bad guys. They were gathered together at this place, Shilkah, which belonged to Judah, and pitched between Shilkah and Azekah. I'm saying that wrong. In Ephes Daman. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. So the Philistines and Israel are getting ready for a fight. And, okay, you're still back on the bear.
Yeah.
We're fighting now.
He's dead.
So there's this big old valley, the valley of Elah, and the Philistines are on one side, and the Israelites are on the other side. And what happens is the Philistines decide, all right, we're going to send out our strongest guy to fight off against their strongest guy. So they sent out a guy named Goliath. Yes. Goliath. And the Bible says that Goliath was 9 feet 9 inches. He was a giant. Now I looked up some people to compare that to. Shaq is only 7 feet 1 inch. Only. He's only 7 feet 1 inch. And the tallest man in the world right now is Sultan Kosin, and he's 8 foot 3 inches. Well, Goliath was 9 foot 9 inches. So he's a really big dude. And in verses 9 through 12, we see Goliath issues a challenge. Basically, he said, actually, let me look at that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And he stood, verse 8, and he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are you come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to fight me. So he's setting out a challenge. He says, if he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall he be your servants and serve us. So Goliath says, yeah, is the battle? Yeah. Goliath is like, all right, you send out your champion, I'll fight him, I win, you guys have to serve us, you win, I'll serve you. And here's what happens. Nobody goes out to fight him because everybody's scared of this 9 foot 9 guy. So he issues a challenge, and in verse 11, we see the Israelites are basically like, I ain't doing that, I ain't dying. Because if a 9 foot 9 guy tried to fight me, I'd just probably run away as well. Because that'd be really scary. And it talks about how Goliath was a very great fighter, a man of war. Well, David hears about this challenge. He leaves for a little bit, and he comes back. His older brothers, his 3 oldest brothers, what is that?
It's a McDonald's.
His 3 oldest brothers, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shema, are fighting for Saul in the army, but they're scared as well. Well, David leaves. He comes back because Dad sends him with some pizzas for his brothers. And he finds out the standoff has been going on for 40 days. For 40 days, Goliath has been coming out and saying, who's going to fight me? Let's do this. And for 40 days, the Israelites are like, oh, you can't hear him. Nope, la, 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 la. You know, they got their AirPods in, and they can't hear what he's saying. So that's what's going on for 40 days. Well, David hears Goliath's challenge. He also hears David talking about, he's basically calling out, oh, you're the children of God, and God's supposed to be this great all-powerful being, and you guys won't even fight me. So he's blaspheming God's name, and he's calling out the Israelites. And David looks around, and he sees all the men of the army, the guys that are trained to fight, and they're just fleeing from it. You see that over in verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, Goliath, fled from him and were sore afraid. And David's like, what in the world? So David starts to ask, he's like, okay, who's going to stand up to this guy? He is blaspheming God, and he's calling us out. Who is going to stand up and defend God's name? And his brothers are like, just go home, David. Not worth it. You're just a kid. You can't do anything. David's like, dude, I killed a lion and a bear. You think a giant's going to scare me? You think I'm worried about that? God brought me through killing a lion and a bear. I can do this. So David goes to Saul, and he tells Saul, I'm going to fight Goliath. And Saul was like, you're an idiot. Don't do it. You'll die. And David's like, well, God's on my side, so I'm going to do it. And Saul says, okay, here, take my armor. So David tries on Saul's armor, and I'm making this very quick. That's verses 31 through 39. He tries on Saul's armor, and he's like, you know what? I haven't proved it. I've never used this armor before. I've never used these weapons before, so I'm not going to use them. And you see that over in verse 39. The Bible says, and David girded his sword upon his armor, and it essayed to go, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off. So he takes the armor off, and he's ready to go fight Goliath. Yes, David's arm. Yes.
He's got his kills
I
there.
don't think, it must be a washcloth tattoo.
He applies them every morning.
Yes, every morning. So David goes to prepare for a battle. He doesn't have armor. He doesn't have a sword even. He's got his sling. And a sling is kind of like a slingshot, but it's a different format. You can look it up. It's not like he pulls back a string like that.
Yeah, that's just fun.
Something you whip around your head and you release. You have to be very skilled to use them. He goes out and he picks up 5 stones because Goliath had 4 brothers, so he was ready to kill all 5 of them if he needed to. And he goes to fight Goliath. And Goliath, obviously, when he sees this little kid standing there, this young man, he's like, really, this is what you send out? A dog to fight me? And David's like, prepare to die. So then we see the fight. In verses 48 and 49, we see, and it came to pass when the Philistines arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. So they're running at each other. And David put his hand into his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead. that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David takes out the sling, and he whips it, and goes right into Goliath's forehead. It kills him. And then David does something really cool, in my opinion. He takes Goliath's own sword and cuts off Goliath's head. So Goliath is dead now. And everybody's like, whoa, what just happened? And David is hailed as a hero and defends the name of God. Now, how can we apply this to our lives? Well, God can use anybody that's willing at any age. Just because you're a teenager, just because you're a young person, doesn't mean God can't use you. You don't have to be 20 years old to be used by God. You don't have to be 25, you don't have to be 50 years old, 60 years old. God can use you at 5 years old, at 10 years old, at 15 years old. He just wants somebody to be willing to be used. So we've got to be willing to be used. And God can use you. Don't think God can't use me because I'm just a teenager. God can use you to reach people. And we as, yes, is that a gun or is it?
No, it's a sling.
Oh, okay.
It's extended.
Then we also need to see that we as Christians need to be willing to stand up for God and defend his name. When people are attacking our beliefs and our religion, it's okay to stand up for what's right and say, no, you're wrong. But you need to be prepared to do that. David prepared to fight Goliath, and we need to prepare to defend God's name by being informed and that type of stuff. Knowing your Bible. When people attack our beliefs, we need to defend them. When people take God's name in vain, you should be defending them. You should be defending God and say, hey, don't take God's name in vain. And we need to trust God in times of trouble to take care of us. I think David probably was a little bit afraid. I'm just speculating, but he trusted God to take care of him. And when you trust God to take care of you in those times when you're afraid, it helps you get through those. If you're afraid or you're worried, just trust God to take care of you, and he will. We need to pray and we need to get out of here because we're running late today. Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. And Lord, we just thank you for the time we can spend. We ask now that you be with this lesson and you help us to understand that we could be like David and we could be used as well. Thank you for your name. Amen. All right, trivia question. Remember to get it in by Tuesday night.
Yep.
We entered for the $5 gift card. And this week's question is, what was the giant's name? What was the giant's name in the story? So, all right, that's all we have for this week. We will not see you next week, but we will start putting out episodes twice a month. So,
Bi-weekly.
thank you, and take care, and we'll see you at church.
See the space launch?
Yeah, I saw the space launch. You weren't even there.